Welcome to the Way Yet Close podcast. Meet your host, Lamia.
And Mandy, expats like you, here to guide you through the food and body image challenges you might encounter as you settle into a new country.
Get ready to explore, eat, empower, no matter where you are in the world. Ready to dive in? Let's get started.
Hello, and welcome back to the Way Jet Clothes podcast.
Yeah, hello. Today we are moving to a new topic. We are diving into the topic that's incredibly important for expats, mindful eating, specifically how to find balance in new food landscapes.
Yes, mindful eating is really a powerful practice, and especially when you're living abroad and you're surrounded with new and different foods, it can be really exciting but also overwhelming. So today we are going to unpack what mindful eating is, why it's especially useful for expats, and we will give you practical tips to incorporate it into your daily life.
Yes, exactly. So let's get into it. But first, what's mindful eating? Mindful eating is about paying full attention to the experience of eating and drinking, both inside and outside the body. So it means eating with awareness, savoring each bite, and truly being present in the moment. It's a practice that involves slowing down, recognizing the hunger and fullness cues, and appreciating all the flavors, textures, and aromas of food.
Right. And as expats, we're often thrown into new food environments where everything is different, from the types of food available to the way meals are structured and to the cultural significance of food. This can make it really easy to lose touch with our natural hunger and fullness cues, and to eat mindlessly, either out of stress, loneliness, or just the sheer novelty of it all. I have been especially influenced by this. I can give my personal experience about this because when I moved to the Netherlands, I was going through a lot of stress to really find a house. The people who live in Amsterdam know how crazy it is, finding a job, sorting everything with immigration. So I had a lot of stress, and going to a supermarket where the foods were very different, the way the meals were structured was very different from my country. I really noticed that I just started to eat really mindlessly out of stress. My thoughts were rushing through my mind of repeating the list of things I needed to do. And while I was just thinking of this, I was just like eating very fast. And this didn't make me feel good.
Yeah, and I think this is true for all expats that we have to adapt to a new place, a new challenge, and then there is a lot of things that we need to do by ourselves. And then on top of it, we need to adapt to a new food landscape, which also brings by itself more emotions and more challenges on top of the existing challenges that we face as expats. So it can be exciting, but also in a way daunting. So, the goal of mindful eating is to bring a sense of calm and balance to your relationship with food, no matter where you are.
Yeah, so let's talk now about some practical steps that we can take to start practicing mindful eating in a new country. So first, start by immersing yourself with the local cuisine. How can you do this? You can go to local supermarkets, you can explore new ingredients, you can try traditional dishes, because this not only helps you to connect with the culture, but it also allows you to approach the food with curiosity instead of judgment. Like in my experience, I have used the national holidays as an opportunity to try these new local dishes. For example, in the days before Christmas, like in this December period, there is a food here in the Netherlands called peppernoten. There is like some small cookies, which I never tried in my home country before. So I use this as an opportunity to try them out. Also during King's Day, in the family of my boyfriend, they eat this dessert called tompoes, and it comes in different colors, but during this day, it's of course orange. because the orange is the popular color in the Netherlands. And I also use this as an opportunity to try this. So yeah, this is my experience in this area.
Yeah, that's interesting to use also the national holidays to taste and to try out food that is specifically available during that period. And on top of it, when we are trying this new food, we need to take time to really savor them. So try to notice the flavors, like the textures and the aromas, so we can try to eat slowly and mindfully. This helps us to stay present and to truly enjoy the experience of eating. It also helps us to tune into our body's hunger and fullness signals. From my personal experience, when I moved, for example, from Tunisia to France and then to the Netherlands, I had different challenges. For example, in France, I was surrounded with the abundance of bakeries. There was seems like in every corner one, and between two bakeries there was another bakery. And then there was the allure of fresh baguettes, the croissant, the pain au chocolat. It was all irresistible. Not to mention the incredible variety of cheese and chocolate. It was a food lover's paradise. But it was easy to get carried away with all the new and delicious options. When I later moved to the Netherlands, the food culture changed again to introduction of stroopwafels and then the different array of bread and dairy products. And at first, I felt overwhelmed and found myself eating a lot out of cheer of excitement and novelty. I also missed the vibrant spices of my original cuisine, the Tunisian cuisine, which made me feel a bit homesick. But by practicing mindful eating, I was able to blend the new with the familiar. So I started incorporating my own spices into my cuisine even when using French or Dutch ingredients. This helped me to create meals that honored both my new surrounding and back to my cultural roots. It allowed me to feel more at home. And another challenge that I faced was dealing with emotional eating. Moving to new places was stressful, and food became often a source of comfort.
Yes, that's such an important point because emotional eating is something that many expats struggle with. Because moving to a new country can be really stressful, so it's very easy to turn to food for comfort. And while there's nothing wrong with enjoying the food, it's important to recognize when you are eating to soothe your emotions rather than just eating out of physical hunger.
Yes, and one way to do this is by checking with yourself before you eat. So we can start with asking ourselves, am I truly hungry? Or am I eating because I'm stressed or bored or lonely? If it's the latter, we can try to address the emotion directly. So maybe we can go for a walk, we can call a friend, or we can engage in a hobby that we enjoy.
Yes, and well, here's a practical tip. You can keep a food and a mood journal. You can write down what you eat, when you eat it, and how you are feeling at the time. And this can help you identify patterns and become more aware of emotional eating triggers.
Yeah, that's so nice to have the food and mood journal, and it's good practice. And another tip can be to create a pleasant eating environment. This can be challenging when we are living abroad and may not have the same comfort as home. But even small things like setting the table nicely, eating without distractions, and taking few deep breaths before we start our meal can make a big difference.
Absolutely. And don't forget to engage all of the senses. Notice the colors, the textures, the aromas of your food, because this can really improve your eating experience and also helps you to stay present. For example, I have been noticing that lately I am really stressed to do all the stuff I have to do in the summer and planning the holidays. So I have captured myself eating mindlessly a lot of times, just again, the rushing thoughts in my mind of everything I need to do, what I need to arrange. So I've been trying to change my environment. I've been sitting closer to the window, so it's a different light, it's a different setting, and I've been really trying to focus on the food, describing it to myself. What are the ingredients I am tasting? What is the texture? For example, today I had banana pancakes, and previously I always bake them with a bit of baking soda, which make them more fluffy. And today I was noticing, oh, okay, well, these pancakes are less fluffy than before. But then this, just describing it to yourself, it just helps you to stay present and connected to your body and what you are eating.
Yeah, how nice. You're creating a new like eating environment for yourself and you're more focused into the textures and flavors of your pancake, for example, today. Yeah, that's nice to hear. And it's all about also creating this ritual around eating, which you are now, for example, trying to create or creating. And it makes the eating experience more mindful and more enjoyable. And don't forget to be kind to yourself. So, moving to a new country and adapting to new food culture is a big change. So, it's okay to have these days where you don't eat mindfully. And what's important is that you keep coming back to the practice.
Yes, mindful eating is not about perfection. It's more about cultivating this awareness and a healthy relationship with food. So, to recap what we have said, here are our key tips for mindful eating as an expat. Explore and immerse yourself in the local cuisine, savor your food, be aware of emotional eating, create a pleasant eating environment, and be kind to yourself.
Yes, these are like very nice tips and recaps of what we were discussing. So we hope that these tips would help our listeners to find balance and joy in their new food landscape. So it's all about connecting with ourselves and the new environment in a mindful and compassionate way.
Yes, and if you have any questions or if you want to share your mindful eating experiences, please feel free to reach out to us on social media, on our email. We have a free mindful eating workbook also. We will put it in the show notes so that you can start your journey with it. And we would love to hear back from you.
Yeah, and thank you for joining us today. Until next time.
Bye. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Await Yet Close podcast.
Whether you are on the other side of the world or just navigating your own food and life journey, remember you're not alone.
If you enjoy what you heard, like, subscribe, and review us.
See
See
you
you
next
next
time.
time.